So today we're going to dive into this battle that's probably happening inside your head right now. The crazy, chaotic noise of an overthinking brain versus the focused calm of mindfulness. Let's get right into it.
You know exactly what I'm talking about, right? That feeling where you're just replaying some conversation from yesterday or agonizing over a mistake from last week. You get caught in that same old loop of negative self-talk. It is absolutely exhausting. It's like your mind is running a marathon, but it's not actually going anywhere.
Well, believe it or not, that mental hamster wheel actually has a name. It's kind of the villain of our story today, this cognitive pattern that just traps us inside our own heads. And, getting a handle on what it is, that's the first real step to getting off the wheel for good.
The official term for it is rumination. And what's really important here, the part that makes it a trap, is what's missing from the end of that sentence. It should say, rather than on its solutions. And see, that's the key. It's not productive problem solving, it's just this passive, repetitive cycle of fixating on what's wrong. Think of it like staring at a locked door instead of even trying to look for the key. So how does this whole loop work? Well, it keeps us stuck, just chewing on the past, replaying every failure. And because we're so busy doing that, it gets in the way of actually finding solutions. Our brain is just asking these dead-end questions like, why am I like this? Now, this is different from worry, okay? Worry is usually about the future. Rumination, though, is about being haunted by the past. And this habit, it's a huge risk factor for both anxiety and depression.
But what's the alternative? I mean, what if there was a totally different way to relate to all these thoughts? An approach that doesn't involve wrestling them into submission or getting all tangled up in their loops? Well, this is where our hero, mindfulness, enters the scene. So instead of you being the star of this super chaotic drama that's happening inside your head, mindfulness kind of invites you to just become the audience. It's about simply noticing the thoughts, the feelings, the sensations as they pop up and then float away without getting swept up in the current. It's a huge shift from over-engagement to just simple observation. And when you put them side by side like this, wow, the contrast is just night and day, right? Rumination is completely stuck in the past, while mindfulness is anchored right here, in the now. Rumination judges and overanalyzes every little thing, but mindfulness just accepts and observes. The whole goal shifts from frantically trying to figure it all out to simply acknowledging, okay, this is what is. And the outcomes? Totally different. One amps up all your negative emotions, and the other helps you regulate them. They are fundamentally opposite ways of using your mind. Now, you might be thinking, okay, mindfulness, that's all those apps and meditation studios, right? Super modern. Well, yes and no. While it feels very 21st century, the core idea is anything but new. Its journey from this ancient spiritual concept to a modern secular tool is actually pretty fascinating.
So, it all started in ancient Buddhist traditions with the Pali word sati. Now, sati means both awareness and memory. Or maybe a better way to think of it is remembering to be aware. The actual word mindfulness first popped up in English way back in 1881. But the real game changer, at least for the West, happened in 1979. That's when a guy named Jon Kabat-Zinn created a secular program called mindfulness-based stress reduction. He very skillfully stripped away all the religious context and reframed it as a tool for your health. And that led to the mainstream boom we see everywhere today.
Okay, so that all sounds great in theory, but how do you actually practice mindfulness? How do you go from being tangled up in your thoughts to just, observing them? Honestly, it can be as simple as this. You just find a quiet place and you focus on your breath. You're not trying to change it, just notice the sensation of it. Now here's the most important part, and I really mean this. Your mind is going to wander. That's what minds do. The practice isn't about stopping your thoughts. It's about what you do next. You just gently notice, oh, hey, I'm thinking. And then without any judgment, you just guide your attention right back to your breath. Every single time you do that, it's like a bicep curl for your attention muscle. And this simple little exercise, it's had a huge ripple effect. It's a cornerstone of therapies that help prevent depression relapse. You've got major companies like Google using it to reduce employee burnout. It's being taught in schools to help kids focus, and even in prisons to help reduce anger. It's just such a versatile tool. Because let's face it, the challenge of a wandering, overthinking mind, that's pretty universal. All right, but it can't all be sunshine and roses, right? With this massive popularity comes a ton of hype. So it's really important that we look at this whole movement with a critical eye, because not everyone sees the modern mindfulness boom as a purely positive thing.
This quote from the Buddhist monk Bhikkhu Bodhi, it really gets to the core of a major criticism. The big concern is that mindfulness has kind of been co-opted, turned into a self-help product that puts all the burden of stress management on you, the individual. It becomes a way for big, stressful organizations to say, hey, don't change your stressful system. Just download this app so you can cope with it better. Critics have a great name for it, Mindfulness.
And make no mistake, we are not talking small potatoes here. The mindfulness industry is a massive business, estimated to be worth around $4 billion. That number represents this huge flood of apps, books, corporate wellness programs, you name it. It's pretty clear this has moved way beyond a quiet personal practice and into a major commercial enterprise.
And it's not just about the money. We have to be honest that this isn't some magic pill for everyone. For some people, especially those with past trauma, just sitting quietly with their thoughts can actually increase anxiety. And there are some early studies that suggest in certain situations, it might even blunt important social emotions like guilt. The truth is, for all the hype, researchers agree we still need a lot more rigorous long-term studies to really understand all of its effects, both the good and the bad.
So where does that leave us? After weighing the ancient practice against the modern hype, the problem of rumination against the promise of mindfulness, what's the real bottom line here? Well, it all comes down to a fundamental choice.
Okay, let's bust a huge myth right now. Mindfulness is not about achieving some blank, empty mind. That's impossible. It's about recognizing that your attention is the most precious resource you have. You can let it get hijacked by that hamster wheel of rumination, or you can intentionally, gently, and repeatedly choose to place it where you want it to be, on your breath, on this moment, on what is real right now.
So, at the end of the day, that's the real question, isn't it? In the very next moment, and the one after that, when you're faced with all the distraction and the stress, where are you going to choose to place your attention? The answer to that question, as it turns out, can change absolutely everything.